ate one of these things every single day growing up. I kid you not, every single day. My family is Irish, 100% Irish. My mom lived in there, she grew up on a farm. There's one thing that reminds me of my Irish roots, no pun intended, it's the potato. I was born and raised in New York, so I consider myself an American. But I was raised with reminders of Ireland, mostly the potato. Did you know that according to the Smithsonian Magazine and historian William H. McNeill, the potato, after being introduced to Europe, is credited with changing the world and fueling the rise of the Western imperialism? I'll give you a brief history of the potato. The importance of the potato from its birthplace in South America to its European introduction, its importance to Irish history, and the effects it had on world history. Let's begin with potatoes' origins. The potato is being cultivated for a millennium in the Andes by the Incan and ancient Peruvians and Bolivians. They grew around 3,000 different varieties. They boiled them, peeled them, chopped them, mashed them, fermented them. According to the same Smithsonian article, they even produced a dumpling that they could keep for years without refrigeration to help ensure against bad harvests. The potato was a staple food that sustained the Incan armies. Then came the Spanish. This is the story how the potato came to Europe, and Ireland in particular. During the conquest of South America in the early 1500s and subsequent enslavement of the Incan, the Spanish were introduced to the potato. They forced the Inca into slavery and worked them in gold mines. They were thrilled to find a source of fuel for their slaves. One potato could produce a whole day's work. The Spanish imported the gold that they stole back to Europe, and with it, they also sent the potato. When and by whom the potato was introduced to Ireland is unknown. There's a lot of folklore surrounding it. The History of Ireland magazine touches on some of the rumors, such as that English explorers like Sir Francis Drake and Sir Walter Raleigh introduced it. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette tells a story on how originally the British were apprehensive of the new food because it was grown underground in the devil's realm. All rumors aside, it is most likely introduction to Ireland probably came from the Spanish themselves. Regardless of who brought the potato to Ireland, the impact it had on its people cannot be disputed. The introduction of the potato had a dramatic effect on the Irish. By the 1700s, the potato was being widely cultivated in Ireland. The Irish ate 8 to 14 pounds of potatoes a day. It provided 80% of their caloric intake. From 1780 to 1840, the population doubled from 4 million to 8 million. Infant mortality dropped. Then came the blight, or the Irish potato famine. A fungus attacked the crops for 3 years, from 1845 to 1847. The crops were decimated. With their main source of food gone, by 1848, 1 million people had died. Of those who survived, over 2 million emigrated, left Ireland, most of them coming to America. There have been numerous advances in science as a direct result of this famine and the cultivation of potatoes in general. Because of the famine, scientists began to study all aspects of agriculture, including what is considered to be the first field of studies in genetics, why some potato varieties survived the blight and others didn't. This in turn also led to the Green Revolution, which in the 1950s focused on breeding stronger varieties of numerous crops and saving millions of lives all over the world from starvation. Agriculture was also transformed by the discovery of using bat guano from Peru as a fertilizer for potatoes. Fertilizing was an unknown concept prior to this, and the crop yields tripled. Pesticides were also developed to combat a beetle that was attacking the potato crops in Iowa. It's amazing to think how big an effect this little thing had on the world. It traveled from South America to Europe and helped fuel empires. It also nearly destroyed a country. In an attempt to avoid another famine, it brought major advances in science. Potatoes are also part of the reason why me and my family are here today. If I had to eat one of these every day for the rest of my life, I think I'd be okay with it. I love French fries.